I was so dumb, but I hopped on a plane, almost drove right back to the 541. Shitty U-turn on the freeway, you turn me from a fiend to a way to you fun. I can wait in the sun for a little, but it's been real gray, and tonight it's a nice C1. I can wait in the cold for a while.
I was about to make us late to record another soundboard thing, but decided not to.
I mean,
next week.
That could be a costly mistake right there if it was a good one.
No joke. Yeah. We actually have some like really good fodder for a soundboard right now too. Like after this week's like batch of press conferences with the NFL. Like Jerry Jones saying glory hole over and over again. You had the Duvaaaaaaaaaaal thing. Like
Duvaaaaaaaaaaal was definitely going to be one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kind of had to be, right?
I'm convinced that Jerry Jones actually has no idea what glory hole means. Like, which is crazy because he like, is there anybody else like you look at and you're like, oh yeah, that guy uses glory holes? like Jerry Jones. And I mean this in the most respectful way possible. He looks like a guy who uses glory holes. So for him to not know what that is like, I find it impossible. I don't know,
maybe he's so old it goes by like a different name to him.
It has to. Like, I really think it probably means like, because he's an oil guy, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like petroleum based from like 1977 or something. Oh, we got a glory hole. Look at that thing squirt.
I tell you what,
glory hole.
that glory hole squirt. No,
just gush, and it be gushing.
No,
I tell you,
absolutely not.
I don't think I'm wrong.
I don't think you are.
Something
either.
like it. He's like a mine or something.
His fortune is built on holes in the ground that shoot money out of them. You know, like that's a glory hole.
What are the big towers called? The oil towers?
The oil derricks?
Derricks. It's got to be something like, it's got word play with that involved for sure.
Tell you what, I've had a lot of derricks with glory holes in my time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Hell yeah.
Them derricks be squirting. No.
I mean,
it tracks.
Yeah, I guess. All right. The Duvaaaaaaaaaaal thing was like sort of unsettling, you know.
Duvaaaaaaaaaaaaal. That will be added. That's too good.
I mean, that was a bit, right?
No way.
No, dude. He's just weird.
He's just that weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird that it felt like it was a bit.
I think he I get the sense he like learned about Duvaaaaaaaaal earlier in the day, and like somebody said, hey, if you say Duvaaaaaaaaaaal, like people will really dig it. Like, so you try to work that in there or whatever. And he got
but no one told
he got caught.
Don't say it.
Yeah. No, exactly. He got caught like midstream in his brain and was like, I'm in the middle of saying this now. I wish I had come up with a better plan to say this word.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I wish I could go back in time.
Yeah, not a strong opening.
No.
Man.
No. Like, by the way, like Katie Nolan has a podcast now that she just started, and she had Soder. Dan Soder on, and they had a really good take on this. How they sort of compared. Yes,
I've heard you mention Katie Nolan and Daniel Soder.
Soder, like
they're
the stand-up guy.
They're getting married, right?
They are.
Okay,
yeah.
So you
actually engaged? Right.
Yeah, they're actually engaged.
They are engaged. Yeah. They're
one of
cool couple, right? Like
one of the interesting pairs together. It's one of those like,
yeah,
really.
But I like it because like they're individually cool. Like just by themselves, they're cool. Like Katie Nolan has always been cool. Dan Soder is hilarious and cool, and somehow they like know each other and got engaged and are gonna get married. Like that's cool. Like I don't know. It's weird seeing like cool couples that just randomly manifest themselves.
I guess it's more I can never picture Soder with someone because I just assume he's smoking weed and just working on impressions.
I don't think he smokes weed anymore.
No, I think he stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he stopped like a year ago or a year plus ago. Yeah, it was making him hear voices.
Yeah, but little
Probably,
did we know that like Katie Nolan was also doing that a few years ago. And they connected. That's good for them.
Since we're talking Soder and Nolan, I forget what podcast this was on at this point, but I heard it fairly recently, like within the last 6 months. Katie Nolan saying like, "Oh man, when Dan and I first got together, it was the pandemic and it was weird and it was one of the first times he stayed the night at my house and he was taking a shower and all of a sudden on the Bluetooth speaker,
I saw that today as well.
Yeah, he's watching porn on his phone in the shower."
Yeah, they bought a little Bluetooth speaker like together. Yeah. For the shower, because apparently they both like to listen to music in the shower. And he's like, "Yeah, well, she was in the shower, taking a long shower, and had a little time on my hands. Little I know, it was linked up. My Bluetooth was linked up to it." So
yeah,
that is so fucking funny.
Always check your Bluetooth, folks.
Always. God.
In all walks of life, in every building you're in, check your Bluetooth and see if you can do an airdrop. I always turn mine off because
that's a reason to not get an iPhone just in and of itself, is to avoid
oh my god, the airdrop, man.
You mean
what the hell? Yeah.
By the way, Booble pointing out in the chat, they smoke. They both still smoke weed, but Soder just like took a break.
Okay.
So, yeah.
For like a week.
Yeah.
We'll break for a week.
And he says they just smoked all the athlete weed like 6 months ago with Pablo Torre. So.
Oh, that's right. Pablo Torre finds out. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, they were smoking like all the athlete endorsed brands and stuff.
Yeah. Can I say the Gary Payton weed? Not good.
Not good? Huh.
Not good.
Is it called the glove?
The glove.
Like
it's called the glove. Yeah, not good.
Yeah, the branding is easy, but you gotta follow through with the product, man. What were we talking about? Duval, right?
Glory holes.
Yeah, glory holes in Duval, and yeah. Oh yeah, the take on it by Nolan and Soder was that they sort of brought up Dan Campbell, and they're like, remember Dan Campbell's press conference, he like talked about biting kneecaps and stuff, but then you move forward and you're like, oh yeah, that actually made the team like gritty and like they're whatever. It's like it's a quirk, it's a fun quirk because they're winning games, but this is just like insane. like saying Duval like that is like a crazy person.
See, Campbell's not weird, he's just a meathead.
No,
his whole speech was just
yes.
a meathead. This is creepy weird guy. Duval. Yes, that's different.
Look at Liam Cohen's eyebrows. He's owning it. He's like, and Duval. Like he is straight up
putting on a show.
He thinks he nails it. His eyebrows are telling the story that he just fucking nailed it. And you can hear the laughter. And part of it is just introductory press conference laughter. There's a kernel of that where they feel like, that's not how you say that.
Yeah.
Right. How old is he?
40s?
34?
On the younger side, I'm right?
I think he's pretty young.
Yeah. I don't wonder if it's a generational thing because Mike McDaniel's fucking weird as shit too. Yeah. Just these young guys. I don't know if it's. I don't know what the connection. There's a connection somehow, but
speaking of Soder, like he grew up with Mike McDaniel. They're like buddies which totally makes sense. Listening to both of them talk, that absolutely makes sense. Nuttian calls Cohen the JD Vance of football coaches. Yep. Yeah, they actually sort of look alike too. It's Ugh.
Not a great thing to have.
Not a great thing.
It's either great or not great. There's no middle ground.
I mean, he won and seems to be winning continually. So whatever. I guess if that matters. Jags aren't going to win. Just FYI.
No.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the podcast, huh? I'm Alex.
What's there to get into?
I don't know. There's stuff to talk about, probably. Alex King Ski, tweet at us if you want. We're also Ski and I are on Blue Sky if you want. Join our Discord though. That's the place where you can actually interact with us and give us movie suggestions, give us list ideas, all that good stuff. So Discord, search for Sports Brewery if you already have the app. If you don't, we can send you a link and you can click it and just join up. It's a good time. Sports Brewery on that. Twitch.tv/abrog87 if you want to watch us do the sports podcast live. We do it every Thursday around 7:30. Twitch.tv/ABRAWG87. Hit follow, I think it is, on that page. By the way, like call to action. Like people watching us right now, people listening to us right now. Like, let's get more people watching and listening to us. Like I know. No, I know.
I'm fine with the listening.
Yeah.
I don't want people watching us.
Okay, fair. Okay.
You're a little voyeuristic on your end.
No, fair.
Do you like people watching you?
I mean, I don't hate it. I'm putting on a show, baby. You know what I mean? Why am I doing all these push-ups? You know, like, why am I doing all these squats? For real,
Juicy.
For real though, like, share, like, everybody listening to the podcast right now, go on like Twitter or whatever you're on and just share the podcast. Just do it. Just do it once. Just do it once. Just be like, hey, I like listening to this. It's awesome. You all should listen to it. That's it. Thanks.
What's a tweet on Truth Social? What do they call that?
A truth bomb?
A truth?
No, I think it's a truth. I actually do think it's just called the truth.
Spitting truths. Right. That's all we're trying to do.
Go draw some truths.
Yeah.
Like spread those truths for us.
Exactly that. Let's see, what else? Movie. We also do a movie podcast every Sunday. The movie this week is King's movie. It is Empire Records. It is on Hulu. So if you want to watch Empire Records, listen to us talk about it on Sunday, go ahead and do it. That's like we've talked about.
The 90s are alive in Empire Records.
We've talked about some cult movies. Like, that is a cult movie. Like, and not much more than that. Like, so listen, watch that. It's on Hulu, Empire Records. If you haven't seen it before, like, that's kind of impressive, really. It's one of those movies. Yeah, WCP saying he hasn't seen it in like 20 years. Yeah, like, go watch it. Listen to us talk about it. Be refreshed on Empire Records. All right, so
can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
When you guys are recording this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you look at the cells, or do you look at the where your camera is?
I look at myself.
You look at yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
I just look straight ahead.
I don't know.
Yeah, like what do you look at, right? No, it's like I literally think about this all the time. Cuz it's like when you're talking, I'll look at you. When you're talking, Ski, I'll look at you. When I'm talking, I have a hard time not looking at myself. Because like I'm so used to looking at the person in the box who's talking. And when that's me, it's me. And so I don't know.
I've thought
it's weird, right?
Like I've thought about it before, but like last week when we did the visual bit on an audio medium, when I was watching some stuff back just to see how stupid we looked, I was looking and my eyes were just inconsistent, and now I'm looking straight at the red thing, and I feel like that's bad.
No,
it's creepy. I think
is
it's
it weird?
Yeah, I think it's weird if you look at the same spot.
Yeah,
because it's up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more natural looking at the boxes. Yeah,
it's like you're reading a hostage note, and the hostage.
Do you guys do the three big boxes or the small boxes on the side?
Yeah, I have the big three because I'm presenting it to Twitch as well. So I have like the one box for each of us, and then I have our logo, and then I have the chat in like another corner. So it's like two on top, one on the bottom, and then picture and chat.
Ooh.
I love. By the way, I love that you didn't know that. Like you've never watched us before.
just freewheeling this stuff, man.
No, I hear you. No, I hear you. Yeah. So let's keep with the NFL. I guess we probably should, right? Like, your Chiefs in the Super Bowl, yawn. Against the Eagles, yawn. Ski. You and I have no skin in the game. Are you interested in this Super Bowl at all? Like, you gonna watch it beyond like going to like a Super Bowl party and hanging with people? Like, do you actually care about the game at all?
I mean, I will be watching it. Yeah, because I mean, a three-peat is an important thing in sports.
Yes.
And
first time ever, right? First time ever in the NFL. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah.
And I'm also different of, like, I don't like the Chiefs, but I hate the Eagles. I hate Nick Sirianni with a fucking passion. I like Saquon Barkley. I like some of the guys on the Eagles, but Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni make me hate the Eagles so much that I am actually pulling for the Chiefs and to see the three-peat.
Yeah, like if put a gun to my head, make me pick a team to root for, it's probably going to be the Chiefs. I agree. The Eagles, I hate the Eagles. Like Saquon's fine, but I'm with you, man.
I like Saquon.
The coach sucks, the fans suck, the city sucks. Like, fuck the Eagles.
Kansas City kind of sucks too. So.
Kansas City sucks very much, but
I enjoy Andy Reid in small doses. Patrick Mahomes is like a generational talent quarterback. Taylor Swift is a blessing on society. She just is. Like, people out there get tired of seeing Taylor Swift. Like, put her charity numbers up against anybody in the world. Like, put her up against Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying? Like, that chick is rad. Like, she's like a good person. So miss me with all the Taylor Swift hate.
Yeah, except for all the baby blood she drinks. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, how else are you supposed to look that young all the time, man?
Exactly.
She needs to share some with her fucking boyfriend. You know what I mean? That bum is on the downslide.
Kelce has aged like 10 years in the last 2 years.
He has, because he doesn't work out anymore.
Like 2 years ago, you could have told me he was like a 30-year-old guy. In the way he was playing, the way he looked and acted, I was like, all right, yeah, he's late 20s, early 30s. Now I was like, oh, yeah, you're pushing 40 now, Chief.
He's 35.
Is he really? Is he really 35? Wow. Yeah. That's wild. He reminds me of like the old starting pitcher who, like, he'll give you like six or seven.
Tom Candiotti.
Yeah. He'll give you Charlie or seven Poe. Really Charlie Huff. He'll give you like Poe. 6 or 7
Phillies,
really
Jamie Moyer.
Yeah. No, he'll
go Phil Niekro, both Niekros.
Dude, he'll give you like 2 shutouts a year, like 7 quality starts. The rest of his starts are just awful. Like, he's like knocked out in the 2nd or 3rd inning, but again, he's still got it. He's like, watch, in the Super Bowl, he's going to catch like 12 balls for 120 yards, a touchdown or 2, like guaranteed. By the way, lock it up. Ski, you're the DGen here. Travis Kelce bet. Lock it up. Easy. By the way, that's what AK-47 said when I asked you if you would be interested in the Super Bowl. He's like, Ski is a DGen. He will be watching the Super Bowl. I was like, that's a good point.
I am different to where Super Bowl is where people go full DGen. Mm-hmm. I don't, you can make 1,000 different bets during the Super Bowl. I don't do those, color Gatorade. How long's the anthem? Coin flip. I mean, you can do everything.
Yeah.
I'll do some Super Bowl squares and then just some like general bets.
I mean, listen, here's the only bet you need to know on the Super Bowl if you want to make money, kids. Kansas City's going to win. Like, let's be honest.
Travis
Kelce, is what it is.
Travis Kelce plus 135 to score a touchdown.
Easy money. Easy money.
Can I just say something about Kansas City? We've kind of talked about
as a city or as the team.
Yeah.
Well, God, no, not as a city. The city of fountains, by the way. Oh, beautiful mall. Big, beautiful mall in Kansas City. A lot of fountains.
A lot of fluoride.
Everybody's always saying how beautiful the mall is.
They turned the fountains red last week, which is so creepy looking.
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. After the shooting at the celebration,
yeah, they
shouldn't be doing that.
It just looks weird. And maybe I could say this for next week when we're really talking Super Bowl. But the earthworm, the brain worm, the RFK brain eating tapeworm in people's heads now about the Chiefs.
He's been tough to watch this week, by the way. He's RFK.
RFK?
He's having a rough week. Oh, man.
Cheryl. Cheryl. I'm RFK.
Literally. That's the best impersonation I've ever heard.
Yeah, Cheryl. But in the last 2 weeks, people have been going fucking bonkers about the Chiefs, which isn't new. They've been doing it for a bit. But we relitigated Mahomes running out of bounds against the Niners, where there was a very fat, slow guy behind him and a linebacker who took a bad angle, and he just kept running down the sideline. We relitigated that one. Yeah. And then last week, people freaked out because he flopped on a hit on the sideline. He flopped. Patrick Mahomes flopped. Did they call it?
No.
No. There was no penalty on the play. None. And people, first things first, speak the facility. Every single podcast in the world freaked out about it on a play where there was no penalty. And then this last week against the Bills. Oh, Xavier Worthy did not come down with that catch. That is preposterous. They are rooting for the Chiefs. The rig is in. There was a flag on the play.
There was. I thought that was
the Chiefs.
You could argue that maybe Worthy didn't come down with it himself, but the ball was caught by one of the two people in my eyes. Still, wasn't incomplete.
But it would have been Chiefs' ball regardless. And you want to know what? Instead of the Chiefs getting that call, the completion, and scoring quick right afterwards to win there, the Bills came back and scored. They would have just milked the clock down and either scored a touchdown or a field goal, and the Bills would have never scored. That's what people are freaking out about. Well, Xavier Worthy, it doesn't matter. It was better for the Bills that the Chiefs scored quick in that. They came right back down and scored.
Way too fast.
Right back down and scored. Like, the stuff people are getting upset about now, it's I get it, it's sports, but we're reaching for stuff to get mad about. Like, we're reaching.
You know what it is?
Josh Allen clearly got that first down. None of you watched that play and went in live time, went definitive first down. I'm not saying definitive stop.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
That's the point.
No one watched that and went, no, but so we're
what I'm saying is that's the point of a replay. That's the point of a replay, right? Is like to
but listen. No. But listen, Adam Schefter, 3 days before the game, said relief is coming. He tweeted, relief is coming. If you think the Chiefs are getting too many calls, there is an added layer of review this week. Relief is coming. So there was an added layer. And they want a team from fucking middle America. I mean, I know the Bills aren't exactly Los Angeles or New York City either. So relief came. Relief was there. They had an extra cavalcade of horses or whatever it is. And you want to know what? It was like, I don't know.
Well, that's what I was gonna say about replay.
No. But my thing is, we are the advancement of 4K TV and 17 reviews has fucked everyone's minds up. 12 years ago, let alone in 2000 or 1995, no one's really freaking out about this stuff. But because you can slow it down, like I got on Twitter and people were like, no, Dalton Kincaid got that first down by 2 yards because they're showing a screenshot of him being down and sliding. No, you are purposely taking a picture of him sliding forward after his knee is very clearly down.
It's the same thing
and
that
that just
Ohio State fans did
goes viral.
after Oregon beat them. Is they were taking screenshots.
Jeremiah Smith.
You know, and no, they were taking screenshots of him sliding, and they're like, "Oh, look, there's still time on the clock."
left.
Like, come on, stop. No, but like my point about the replay is it's supposed to be definitive.
Just one more thing.
Well, I was just gonna say real quick, like it's supposed to be
just
definitive.
one quick, because people were also furious at the end of the first half that the Chiefs didn't get a flag thrown on them for delay of game with the 2-minute warning. When while they're running the clock down for 30 seconds, they're explaining to you it's a blended clock. That's not how it works in the NFL. If it overlaps, it overlaps. They can run it down to the 2-minute warning, even though you're going to see a split-second difference on the TV and on. And that's not. And it happens.
You don't think Andy Reid knows that 100%?
Right, but then it happens as they're explaining it to America in front of 59 million people, and people's like, "That's delay a game. Only the Chiefs get that call." No, they're explaining to you the rules. Listen to them explain the rules. Like, we are in such a weird place in society, just in general, where what we see doesn't matter. As long as someone puts it on the internet and you don't like the result and you agree with that, that's the truth. Even though we can see it, like, they're explaining to you, blended clock, 30 seconds, it's going to run down, it's going to be fine. People freaked out. And yeah, you want to know what? I'm going to take it there. We saw videos of guys hitting policemen on January 6th. We saw it. We literally have seen it. And they're like, didn't happen. Because we don't want it to happen. And I get it. The Chiefs are annoying. We want a new champion. Go Lions. Woo! But live in reality, folks. Live in a reality. And we've kind of joked about some of this stuff for a while now, but that one was so absurd. They're explaining it to you. It's a rule. It didn't mean shit. Buffalo came down and scored. And people are so like, preferential treatment. All right. Yeah. I give you the floor.
Well, no. Well, go ahead, Ski. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you know who is the happiest that this was all happening against the Chiefs? Is Dalton Kincaid. Because we saw Mark Andrews get eviscerated before. Like, he was saying that first down right through his fucking hands. But now that, like I said, everything was on trying to nitpick and find things and screenshot things of how the Chiefs got away with it again, that his blunder kind of got swept under the rug, didn't it? They heard nothing about Kincaid dropping that ball.
How does it feel to be a Patriots fan? This is it, King. This is you're the fan of a team that is in the middle of a dynasty, and you're not gonna stop losing, and so this.
But here's my thing:
everybody's gonna nitpick everything, and you're gonna get blamed for shit that didn't actually happen all the time.
I want to address that. How does it feel to be a Patriots fan? Well, right now it feels great. If they win in 2 weeks, don't ask me that question again, because they're better than the Patriots.
Yeah.
It's the best dynasty ever.
Ever.
Yeah. So if you Patriot fans, hold on to this one more time, because if the Chiefs win in 2 weeks, that's 4 for Mahomes. Why couldn't he get to 5 next year?
How old is Mahomes?
He'll be 30 next year.
He'll be 30 next year. Yeah, he could have if he tries to hang on for dear life like Brady does. Until he's like 42.
But I'm just saying. Okay, they might win, they might lose. But you want to know what? Either way, he's not going a decade in between another title like Tom Brady did. It's not happening. And that's going if he wins
That depends on if Andy Reid lasts. If Reid's
that's
there
what
with
I mean.
him for...
That's a good point.
But he's not that. Pete Carroll's 74 and just got hired again.
I'm not looking at his age. I'm looking at his waistline, which could...
Are you just saying he has a cardiac event and dies in his sleep? Is that what you're going for?
I mean, he has gout, clearly, at least. That's...
Jeez.
Gout.
I mean, he is...
the everyman's disease. Gout.
Yeah.
Just like Jerry Jones looks like a guy who knows what a glory hole is. Andy Reid looks like a guy who has gout. That's fucked up.
That's a guy that loves rich proteins.
Yeah.
Gout does sound terrible.
Yeah, it does. Like, truly. Okay, question from the chat. Booble says, if Kansas City wins, Mahomes is better than Montana, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And
I
say that die hard 49er guy. Like, till I die, since birth, Montana was my dude growing up as a little kid in like elementary school. Steve Young is my favorite 49ers quarterback ever, but I don't know how he's not better. Like, honestly.
I'm just saying, there are 3 Kansas City Chiefs of all time that have made an AFC championship game. Patrick Mahomes, Len Dawson, Joe Montana.
Joe Montana, yeah.
Maybe Joe Montana.
So, I mean...
The question is if they win, who is ahead of Mahomes? It shouldn't be is Mahomes ahead of everyone else. It's who
Brady.
is actually ahead of Mahomes. It's Brady.
It would just be Brady.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's Brady. Then? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the list. Yeah.
And like back to my persecution complex of 5 minutes ago.
I love
Like
that you put it like that.
against Houston, people were like, "Oh, good on Troy Aikman for calling out that flop that didn't get called on Mahomes." Do you guys? They're like, finally, he's speaking his mind. Do you guys remember how salty Troy Aikman was against Patrick Mahomes like 5 years ago? When in like a late season game in like 2019, he's like, "Wake me up when Patrick Mahomes has a third of the rings I do." He said that on air when he has 33% of the ring. Like, how arrogant. Earned arrogance from Troy. Earned arrogance. Yeah. But you want to know who got 33% of his rings that year? Mahomes. And now he has all your rings, and we all know he's going to get more. So when Troy Aikman is still doubling down, like, that's Mahomes guy, wake me up when he does something.
Yeah. Like, you know, I would say, and the chat sort of looks like they're agreeing too. I'd say Mahomes might be better.
Yeah,
than
chat.
Mahomes might be better than Montana now. Like it, and frankly,
how many Super Bowls did Montana make in his career?
Frankly, he's doing it.
Yeah, I think he was 4 for 4.
4 for 4.
I think he was 4 for 4.
Yeah.
Just
But
four,
frankly, he's doing it with like way less. Like, yes, Travis Kelce is one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, probably the best. Like at the end of his career. But I mean, look, he had Tyreek Hill for half of it, maybe. Like, look what he's doing without him. Like, look what he's doing.
What else?
He had Tony on his team. That's such a negative.
Look what he's doing with like no running game. Like Montana had Roger Craig. Roger Craig, one of the best receiving running backs in the history of the game, man. Like, yeah, Jerry Rice. I mean, what are we talking about here?
What I'll say about Montana is, like, right now, if someone says Montana is the second best quarterback of all time and Mahomes is 3, fine.
Sure.
Whatever. Montana, but my thing with Montana is when Brady got to 4, and at that point he had 2 losses, people like just literally went, you want to know who's the best quarterback? It's Tom Brady. He's not perfect. They weren't using the Jordan thing where it's like, 6-0, no losses. They're just like, we're using our eyes. Brady's better. Using our eyes, we know Mahomes is better than Montana. But I think it's fine at this point if people are still a little deferential to Montana just out of like reverence and 4-0, even though we can all kind of go, whatever. Because we all know, short of like 2 straight years of tearing his Achilles, like, hey, Mahomes could tear his Achilles on the first play in the Super Bowl and then come back in 9 months and tear it again. Short of that, we know he's going to get to 4 and 5 at some point. So hold on to it if you want.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Wait a couple years, let him win like another title or two. Call it good.
And like the thing with Montana is he wasn't like Bradshaw, and like none of us obviously were alive to watch Bradshaw or even really Montana, but we've all seen NFL Live. Like we've seen the clips.
In NFL
John
films,
Facenda, NFL films, yeah. We've all seen the clips. Like Bradshaw was just like, I'm gonna throw it up in the air like 9 times a game, and maybe I'll complete 4. Montana at least was like catch, swivel the hips, throw the ball, like precision,
the West Coast offense, man. You gotta be precise.
Look, it was at least something. Like Lynn Swann got Terry Bradshaw.
And he was athletic. Yeah.
All of his catches are these amazing catches by the receivers.
They're terrible throws.
or a throw to a Raider that somehow gets knocked in the air to your running back, Franco, who runs it in for a miracle.
I know we're talking about like different games, like the sport is very different, but go back and look at some of those Hall of Fame numbers of Terry Bradshaw and Joe Namath. Like go back and look at Joe Namath's career stats. They're not good, like at all. Like he might have had like more interceptions than touchdowns in his career. Like these
I think he did actually.
Yeah, like these are like horrible quarterbacks by today's standards, but they're the first to do what they did. So I guess it is what it is. That's why you get in the Hall of Fame, and you get to be on TV all the time talking about quarterback play. Yeah. Okay. Anything else NFL before we move on? I mean, it's been a week for fucking creepsters with the Justin Tucker stuff. Like, so, I mean, I just want to say one thing about the Justin Tucker thing, and we can totally move on. I keep seeing headlines that be like, it's talk about him being accused of like inappropriate behavior. It's like, it's sexual assault. Like rubbing your dick on a person who does not want you to rub your dick on them. That's sexual assault. So let's call it what it is. He's being accused of sexual assault. And if he did that, he's a scumbag. He should go to jail. And that's it. So.
Well, we saw what happened with Louis C.K.
We did.
Problem is that he can't go away for 2-3 years and come back because he's too old.
Our society really does not support women in this when this stuff comes up. So
how have teams, you would think with Deshaun Watson's whole thing that teams would have put it in writing in contracts now, like, hey, if you want a massage, guess what? It has to be at the team facility.
Yeah.
You cannot be getting this shit outside the team facility.
Which, by the way, is like a good like investment decision for the team too, because you don't want somebody else like doing that on your players, like on your athletes. You want to make sure that whoever is doing whatever procedure is being done, like if it's a massage, if it's like physical therapy, whatever, like you want them to be your people, right? Isn't that the point? Like quality control, and you're keeping them out of, opportunities to be sexual predators, I guess.
I mean, you still can in the facility, but it's, you're keeping track of that shit more than going to the fucking rub and tug place.
NFL Films has cameras in their facilities. Yes. So, yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. Okay, that's all I really wanted to say on that. Okay, so we've gotten like 2 requests in the chat to talk about Ichiro. We did not talk about Ichiro last week. And so let's talk about Ichiro. Hall of Fame.
Why are we talking only Ichiro is the question.
Okay, we'll talk about what you want. I'm just saying. The big thing is Ichiro getting in finally, like not finally, but like no brainer.
Yeah. Oh, in his first year. Wow.
Yeah.
No. I used the wrong word. No brainer, but he did have one person not vote him in, and that's the big story. Is like how that one person could.
How was that a story? It's a non-story.
It happens every single time.
If you are a baseball fan of just the amount, you know that there are so many old, stodgy fucking assholes that vote for the Hall of Fame.
Racist.
And these stodgy old and racist, I'm sure there are plenty of racist old ones in there too. And
leave Bob Ryan out of this.
Yeah. And there are the old ones in there that will refuse to put pretty much anyone, doesn't matter who it is, on the first ballot. It's been common knowledge pretty much since they started doing Hall of Fame shit.
Yep.
So I yes, he should have been unanimous first ballot, but am I shocked that he's not? No, not at all. I'm surprised.
Should he have been? Should he have been?
Yes. Yeah, he's the best. He's the best hitter we've ever seen. Like,
name 5 Ichiro big moments. Go.
Let's see. I just saw some highlights of him at 50.
For the Mariners.
You know what? All of his great highlights that are like
Okay. No.
viral.
No, strike it. No, not big moments. Name 5 highlights.
He threw that guy out like in his first game from right field at third.
Yep.
Stealing, Terrence Long, threw him out.
Stealing the home run. He like stole the home run. I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something everyone does, okay.
Was his 3,000th hit? Was that a home run?
Yep.
As a Marlin.
Marlin's legend.
There's 3.
I would say just his stance, his batting stance is a moment.
Okay, his batting stance is a top 4 moment. Okay.
Yep.
At 50,
and
like,
we don't have a 5th.
What I was gonna say is most of his like viral highlights are after he retired. Now that he's like 50, and he's like he goes out and plays baseball with kids and rocks bombs that like break windows and shit.
Like, I have an agenda here.
Yeah.
And no one. No, I do.
No, I hear you, and I don't know that I'm ready for this.
No. I was a Brett Boone should have been 2001 MVP guy over Ichiro. And I've never forgiven the Baseball Writers of America for doing that to me. Because Brett Boone was very clearly, as a second baseman, hitting like 38 bombs, just rocking shit. Who cares? We don't care.
I don't care.
He should have been the MVP, but they were like, oh, this guy who hit singles threw out Terrence Long in April at third base at Safeco Field in front of 13,000 people. Wow, that's an MVP. I asked for 5 moments, and one of them was batting stance.
Yeah, but it was a lot
we
of
didn't even
singles.
get to a 5th.
Here's the difference, though, is that he was playing in Seattle. It's the same thing. If you were name 5.
He went to the Yankees.
Yeah, he was old then. But I tell you to name 5 Derek Jeter moments. They're all inflated moments with the Yankees. They're all
of course
inflated.
They are, but I can name 5 of them.
But that's what I'm saying. Is that the difference? If he was in Yankee Stadium his whole career, there would be a lot more moments that are blown up because it's with the Yankees. No one gives a shit in
Derek Jeter took a dive into the stands to get that bloody lip or
20 yards in.
Yes, I know. Like I totally agree. But I said this, I tweeted this when Ichiro got in. His highlight package for playing, what did he play, almost 20 years in the Major League? 17, 18?
Yeah, I don't think it was 20. Yeah.
No, it wasn't 20 because he didn't play during the COVID year. But like his thing was like, 2 years, his first 3 years with the Mariners. Absolutely nothing anyone remembers 3,000th hit. There's nothing you remember about Ichiro. His only other memorable moment is being traded from Seattle to the Yankees at Safeco Field, like right before the game, and then coming into play as a Yankee at Safeco Field. That's one of his top 5 moments, is being traded. Guy, like, people are... I think the first ballot argument is stupid. If you're not, like, there's a bunch of prongs on that one. But when people are like, Ichiro should have been first ballot. He should have been first ballot. Ichiro's not the best baseball player you've ever seen.
What highlights are you looking for from Ichiro? Like, what do you expect us to say? Like, he's not a home run hitter. He's just one of the best hitters to ever play. Like, so like, what? I don't understand. Like,
no. I'll get to it because he never took walks and he didn't steal bases because he just wanted to have a high average. That's not a thing I'm inventing now. That's a thing people said for a long time. The same thing about, he could hit 50 bombs if he wanted to. But they're also like, well, he could have taken a walk here and he could have stolen this base, but he just wanted to be a guy who hit for average. It's like Aaron Rodgers, who just wanted to be a QBR factory. Never took a risk for like about 7 years threw it away, just never took a risk. Ichiro, he's a singles hitter. He's Tony Gwynn. A great hitter. I'm not saying he's not a great hitter. I think he's better than Derek Jeter, like as a player. But when people are like, well, he wasn't unanimous, he's not the best player I've ever seen. He's not. He's just flatly not.
If that's what you're basing it on, but like we can all agree that there are other guys who should have been unanimous first ballot Hall of Famers too who weren't.
Sure,
so.
but we understand what the writers do. We understand their construct. And in honesty, someone should have just not voted for Mariano Rivera, so we could have just not had this discussion. Like, that's where we should have gone.
Yeah.
As long as they're going to stick to this, again, I think it's a stupid construct. And I think if you're a Hall of Fame player, you get 5 years. You know what I mean? Like, we need to shorten that.
It shouldn't take long to know. If right.
Like some of these guys are on the ballot for like a decade or whatever it is, and then it goes to like Harold Baines is in the Hall of Fame now. Like, that shit's dumb. But it's more me just being like the system is stupid. We've manufactured, he's not unanimous. Well, okay, no one is. I mean, Rivera. But other than that, we know what the deal is. Like, we know what the deal is. So yes. Why get upset about it?
But the deal is wrong, and whoever does not vote for a first ballot guy just because they're a first ballot guy is dumb and should not get to vote. And should not get to vote. Like, whoever did not vote for Ichiro should not get to vote anymore. You know, like whoever did not vote for Griffey, like, should not get to vote anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's a no-brainer that these guys are Hall of Famers.
Was Griffey only a 1 vote shy of unanimous guy?
I don't remember.
I think he was one as well.
I think so.
Because I think Griffey's a much better baseball player than Ichiro. Like, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Whether he was 3 votes shy or 1 vote shy of unanimous, I think Griffey was better because I don't value the single. And if you want to get mad at me for not valuing the single, you want to know who else doesn't value the single? All the guys in the front office making $10 million a year. Like, the single is a single. Like, we don't value the single. I don't value the single. I didn't value the single in 2011. It's a single. I get the craft. I respect the craft. It's not as valuable as someone who's going to hit 310 and hits 37 bombs. You know it. I know it. It stinks. You can be a better baseball player. Not as valuable. Ichiro, wouldn't vote for him.
Boobles,
get out of here.
Wouldn't vote for him. Shut the fuck up. Booble says Griffey was 3 short. So
Jeter was 1 short.
Yeah. I don't like Jeter, but he's a Hall of Famer and a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah.
I guess here's my comp, I guess, would be like Wade Boggs. Guy got base hits, played pretty good defense, didn't do anything other than hammer beers like that with like, that's real cool. And I think he had, like, at the time when he went in, he had the 3rd highest votes ever. It was behind like Nolan Ryan and someone else. Like, so that's, I mean,
yeah, we know what these voters are voting for. Again, yes. By the way, your takes on Ichiro were like, I haven't seen like a more
electric, incorrect,
a more like shit on set of opinions from our chat than what you were just saying.
I watched Prime Sports Northwest and loved watching the 67 and 100 Mariners, and Ichiro hit singles. You didn't watch them. You're lying. It did not happen. Yeah. You did not watch them, and you're making this up.
Same.
You didn't watch the Mariners.
I was an A's fan. I hated the Mariners. Fuck the Mariners. You know what I mean? I don't know.
The Mariners too, but
like people are like saying he's like they're prefacing this like he's like a top 5 player of all time. Like, stop it.
I think it's because people are trying to mesh his Japanese numbers in with the MLB numbers.
I don't care about those numbers.
But I know, but if you do and you take those numbers, then it's like, yes, he had 1 billion hits total. If you just look at just his MLB numbers, it's like, Yeah, he had
3,000.
28
That's pretty good.
he had 28. He had 2,800 singles.
That's pretty good. By the way,
Not valuable.
But does that equal unanimous? Yes. So
not.
I can see the argument you have, King. I can see it.
Not valuable.
I made this argument to you 10 years ago, Ski. Like, this isn't a new thing I'm doing just to piss off Nuttian. Like, Ichiro, bum. Okay, not a bum.
No. Not gonna let you say
Brett
that.
Boone should.
Yeah.
I will not back up. Brett Boone should have been the 2001 MVP.
Okay.
He should have.
Okay.
Better player.
I've been asked.
Well, I believe they got the AL Cy Young winner that year, which was a fraud. So I think it made up for it.
Arthur Rhodes should have been the Rolaids Man of the Year that year.
Nutian says, "Wow, reported." I've been asked to make you name the top 3 George Brett highlights, other than the Pine Tar incident.
So maybe one of the most historic videos of all time doesn't count. Okay,
I mean,
all right, yeah, okay.
Okay, name 2 others.
I mean, number one is clearly him telling a story about shitting his pants. I mean, that's easily number 1.
You're
Iconic.
literally asking me. You're literally asking me to name someone who played in the 80s. Like, he retired in like 1993 as a hobbled old man. This is not a fair fight. I didn't watch George Brett. I did. I was in Kansas City when he got his 3,000th hit, and the only reason I remember that is I was like, oh, okay, and then went out on a dock on a lake and lost a really expensive rod because I went like that, and it flew right off the dock.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, the reason I remember
Kansas City.
Shame.
Yeah.
Name your top 3 Salvador Perez highlights.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
Yes, he fucking is.
No, he's not.
I think Sally's going to be close. He's still not even.
He's going to be close.
He still has like 6 years left.
No, he does not. He's only 30. He's like.
I think he's only. 30,
I know.
I think he's like 32 or 33. Yeah.
No. He is not going to make the Hall of Fame. He is going to be out of the league in 2 years. Salvi.
No way.
I mean, come on.
No way.
Watch Salvi walk.
No
Watch
way.
Salvi walk. He looks like he has a BBL now. Like, the guy is enormous.
How many?
He is 34 years old.
How many
He's
elite
34,
catchers?
so no.
Huh?
How many elite catchers have there ever been? He's an elite catcher.
Yeah, it's a tough position to get in, though.
I think he'll get in just because he's an elite catcher, and getting in as a catcher is hard. No brainer to me.
It is hard. Yes.
Yep. By the way, pull that quote and then put it on the soundboard. Ski saying it is hard.
About as hard as watching the fucking Ducks play basketball.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, UCLA showed up tonight. So, listener, we are recording this while Oregon is playing UCLA. UCLA jumped out to like a really big lead early and then sort of petered out a little bit, and Oregon just hasn't really shown up yet. So 30-20 as we're recording this in the first half.
So bad.
Has Biddle scored yet?
I think he's their leading scorer.
Oh, good for him.
He usually
I haven't
is.
watched it.
Yeah, he has 9.
Well,
he has 9 points to lead them in scoring right now. He is.
Could have used those against Minnesota, buddy.
He is 1 of 5 on threes tonight in the first half. 1 of 5. The center is.
I will say one thing about Altman's teams that I'm getting a little frustrated with is why can't they shoot threes?
Yeah.
So they are 2 of 14 currently.
Yeah. And they chuck.
It's
they
just
chuck
been
threes and can't make them.
It's just been a while.
It's been a while.
But yeah, when was the last team was a consensus good shooting from 3 team?
Pritchard?
2019. Yeah. Pritchard's last year. 2020, I guess. Yeah, Pritchard's last year.
Yeah.
But was that just Pritchard being lights out, or was that the team?
It's all
Like,
it takes.
even Shelstad. Yeah. Oh, team. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. As a team, they could have a guy that
it's college. It's college basketball. I mean, a team being a good 3-point shooter. And
I was going back to thinking like Malik Hairston and Bryce Taylor was the last good 3-point shooting team.
I would venture to guess Malik Hairston's percentage from 3 is much lower than you're remembering.
Yes,
it might be.
The Final Four team was pretty good at threes, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So, and they loved shooting them. Everybody on that team, other than Jordan Bell, loved shooting threes. Yeah. Okay. I mean, let's talk Ducks, I guess. So, if they lose to UCLA. So they're 16th right now, like ranked. But if you lose to UCLA, you got like you got the Michigan trip coming up essentially, and you got like a tough stretch of games. And losing 2 of their last 3, it would be 3 of their last 4. Like they're not playing well. They're like on the as hot as they started. They're in the middle of the Big Ten right now. And like about to move towards the bottom of the Big Ten right now. And I don't know, like I don't really know what needs to be done other than they just need to start making shots.
I agree with you. I think it's got to be an Altman thing. You can't just have this many people, especially guys that transfer in. They're like, oh yeah, I always see guys like, oh yeah, he shot good. He shot a good percentage of threes wherever he was coming from. Comes into the team and can't make a fucking shot. I don't know if it's the ball movement to get more open threes or what. I don't know what it is, but there is something that stinks on the team and no one can make fucking shots. Yeah. They can't make fucking layups too. How many open like point blank shots does he miss too? I don't know how they have fucking 16 wins.
Shooting 33% from the field right now, 18% on threes today. Like you can't, you're going to lose.
Angel just buries a 3.
Like on cue. Like they're gonna continue to lose if they don't start making shots. It's weird. It's like it's really simple. Like basketball is a simple game. Like you make baskets and you win, and that's pretty much it. And if you don't make baskets, you don't win. And they're not making baskets.
Tony Bennett at Virginia. That's yes. The only outlier. Yeah. And then you try to win games 55-52.
Yeah. If that's the point, then. You better play better defense
and they don't play
than
that,
playing.
They don't play that good enough defense to do that.
No. So I don't know. We'll keep tracking tonight's game. We'll probably be done before the game ends. But right now they're
probably better. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. Right now they're
trying to pod until 10. What are we doing here, man?
They're trailing.
It's been an hour already.
They're trailing by 14 at the half. So
16,
14.
Oh shit! I'm 30 seconds behind on whatever you're looking at on your phone to live.
I got the ESPN app open. Yeah. So
well, clearly someone scores a bucket here.
Yeah. All right, the women got a big win today. Beat
good for Kelly Graves and the women. What a bounce back this year.
Really, because I think like we were all sort of burying him coming into the season, and
as we should have.
Absolutely, it's incredible. It's incredible he survived last season. Like it really is incredible, and the fact that he's been able to turn them around this quick in a new conference, a good conference, and to win the games that they've won so far, to have the record that they have right now is like it's cool because I like Kelly Graves. And I want the Oregon women to be good with Kelly Graves as the coach. And the fact that they are now is like, okay, all right, now start getting good recruits and keeping them, and then like keep the momentum going. But today, it was their first ranked road win since 2020, which seems crazy. It seems crazy to me. Like, but you look back at the last few years and all the players leaving and all the dysfunction, it makes sense. Yeah. But their second ranked win this year, that's just a big one. That's a big one, man. So, I think they're not ranked now. I think they're about to be again. And, I think are we confident both of these teams are tournament teams? Maybe not the men the way they're playing, but
no, the men are locks. The men are locks.
I would think so too.
They have too many quad 1 wins. Unless they dump like 8 in a row there.
If they don't get to 20 wins somehow.
Yeah. Which Dana always gets. He always gets to 20. Like it's a lock.
Yeah, but usually it's because
after so tonight UCLA, Nebraska at home, the Michigan trip. After that, it's pretty manageable.
Smooth sailing. All right. By the way, Nutsian mentioning in the chat for that Nebraska game this weekend, tickets are $2 before fees. So if you want to go watch your ranked Oregon men's basketball team, you may do so cheaply. Just
James, I feel that way. I mean,
watch getting the saltiest popcorn to ever exist. Though maybe.
Well, James, I feel that way. I mean,
if you
get a large drink with your popcorn.
Yeah, if you're an older gentleman like us, maybe watch your sodium intake with that popcorn. Yeah, because you might die. Okay, anything else before we get to a list? I think that's pretty much it, right?
What was our list? What was our list again?
Our list comes from MT Booble in the Discord. It is it's based on the movie we watched last week, which is Almost Heroes. And it is movies that Chris Farley would make better as like a supporting role, but like a drama movie. Boy, I worded that perfectly.
That was well done.
So drama movies that Chris Farley could have a role in, and it would be good, is basically it. Nice. So yeah, who wants to start? I can.
Go for it.
Not me.
Okay, I'm gonna go with The Town. I think
Farley with a Boston accent.
I think Chris Farley as like a rundown, like sort of like a ex-addict or something who needs to like make one last score to and then he's gonna try to make good with his ex-wife and his kid. Because like think of Farley like the way we know him. He's got the really sweet side, right? And so he'd have this sweet side with his like daughter or whatever, and he's like, but he's still got that like criminal violent side, and he's just gonna bring it out one last time for one big score. And yeah, I think he'd be really good in a role like that. And I just picked The Town just because I don't know. He could probably figure out a Boston accent.
Fucking co-op.
Fucking co-op.
He's a fucking co-op.
So I don't know. I think that'd be good. The Town.
I didn't necessarily pick these. One of them I actually think Farley could have done a good job in. The other ones I picked because I just think it'd be funny that he was in them.
Okay.
So my number 3 would be Django Unchained, where he played Leo's character of Calvin Candy.
Oh my God, that would be so good. Oh my God. No, like the scene where he like breaks the skull or whatever and goes crazy. That's perfect, Farley. Totally. Yeah.
Farley dropping N-bombs would have been a sight, I think.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna touch base on that later in my list. So, what you got, King?
Al Pacino's character in Heat, just for the scene of
great ass. And then just like shooting assault rifles. Can you imagine like the jiggle with Chris Farley shooting assault rifles? Man.
Are we assuming that Farley stays fat? If he survived and went into dramas, that he stays fat?
Now he'd have to get in shape, or he would die. Like he would have to at some point. There's just it's his physical shape and the way he took care of himself was not sustainable. Clearly. That's why he died.
Well, his demise was more the drugs, and the booze.
Yeah,
I mean the weight added to it, but we've seen a lot of fat guys that have stayed. I mean, John Goodman, was an actor forever.
Yeah, he also lost a whole bunch of weight because he was
Ralph.
So
when he turned like 70, finally he did.
Yeah. All right, from the chat, let's see. Nutian says replace Charlie from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with him. That'd be pretty good. Let's see. Booble says Philip Seymour Hoffman as Dusty in Twister.
I have a Philip Seymour as my number one.
Pretty
so
good, actually. Yeah, I could see them being really interchangeable, actually. Nuttin, let's see, that's his 2. WCP says replace Sandler and Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. God, I love that. That's never gonna get old to me. All right, my number 2 is True Detective. Like literally any season of True Detective. Again, I think he would like the way they have.
How's he fitting into the Miami season?
Yeah, pretty easily. You get the chops, and like man, I like get chops and like a nice suit on Farley. Like, come on, man, that'd be good stuff. I think honestly, like the most recent season would be the one he couldn't really do. First one, he'd be great. By the way, I think he would like. Replacing McConaughey, he would be great in that role. Like, can you imagine?
He'd look even greasier than McConaughey did, that's for sure.
Totally. Oh, man. Yeah, so that's my 2. Skeet?
My number 2, I'm sticking with TV shows as well. I'm going to say a season of Fargo.
Yes,
because there's mild enough humor where it's not like a super serious drama, but it's serious enough that I think he could have done. And I'm gonna say I think it was like the 3rd season that had fucking what's his name, the fucking British guy,
Martin Freeman.
Ewan McGregor.
Oh, Ewan McGregor. Yeah.
I think it was that season. I think it was the 3rd season. I think that would have been a good role for him.
Yeah, again, he probably would have been good in any season of Fargo. Yeah, like I totally agree. All right, what you got, King?
My number 2 is Brad Pitt's character Cliff Booth in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Just for the visual gag of everything else being serious, and everyone else is like, "What? How is he the stuntman?" And when he becomes a stuntman, he just looks.
Yeah.
It just somehow works.
Like if both of them survived, you have Philip Seymour Hoffman as Leo's character, and then you have Farley as Pitt's
exactly.
character. It's perfect.
It's just
that movie might actually be is the thing.
Movie might.
How do
be
we
good.
mute someone on here?
I know. Banned.
Yeah, might actually be entertaining.
#banned. All right, 2's from the chat. Nutian says replace Javier in No Country for Old Men. That is.
That's a tough replacement.
I was thinking. I thought of that movie. That's one of my honorable mentions, and I thought he'd be good to replace Brolin in that movie. Like I think he would be better as Brolin. But yeah, I mean, No Country. Yes, he would be rad in No Country. You kidding me? And then 2 from Booble, Paul Giamatti, Straight Outta Compton, Jerry Heller.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. That is good.
Yeah. I think I have to revise my 1 because it was kind of the same.
Use it.
Yeah, okay. I won't.
Was it a different Giamatti?
It's a different Giamatti.
I love it. Okay, cool. We'll get to it. WCP's 2 is Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday. So we've got 2 Pacinos. We got 2 Farley replacing Pacinos. I sort of love it. Yeah, playing like the football coach. I could see that.
Yeah. I
could see that. Yep. All right, my number 1 is any Tarantino movie. So I know you guys have said 2, but I think he'd be great in Inglourious Bastards. Like he would literally like so many characters in Inglourious Bastards he would be great as. Like one of the just literally like one of the guys who goes around with Brad Pitt's character. Like he could be any one of those and would be great. He could have been Brad Pitt's character, for fuck's sake. Probably not as good, but you know. Hateful Eight.
You think he could have pulled off? The classic, the Bongiorno.
Bongiorno.
Bongiorno. Yeah, so good.
God damn, that's so good. No, but like Hateful Eight, he would have been perfect for. Like again, like.
Can he fit in the house?
Come on,
Ooh.
come on, Come on.
Were there fat people back in like the 1800s?
Yeah, how do you get fat back then? Like, there's so little food to go around. Like, no,
Eating
again,
a lot of marmots.
yeah.
It's a lot of rabbits you got to kill to eat to get that big.
I mean, we saw Almost Heroes. He's eating a lot of eagle eggs. So, yeah.
God, that movie sucks.
Sucks so bad. So bad.
I had a YouTube clip of that movie up on my laptop, and then like 2 days later after we recorded the pod, I just watched the intro to that movie again, and I was like, wow, the 90s, man.
So
Wild.
you picked a 90s movie.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Sorry.
And then Reservoir Dogs. He would have been good in that too. Like Tarantino movies, man. He's perfect for him. All right, let's see. I did. So you got to do your ones. Yeah. What's your one, Ski?
My number one, like I said, I'm going with the Philip Seymour Hoffman one, and that's a movie called Owning Mahoney, where he was like this banker guy that would steal money from the bank and go and play like high-level gambling at casinos. It was very good, dark movie. And I actually could have seen that have been Farley like getting into dramas with like a serious role and actually done well at it.
Yeah, he looks a lot like Farley in this movie.
Kind of looks like his live down a van down by the river
He really does.
character almost.
Yeah, he really does. Wow, crazy. I never heard of this movie. I gotta watch it.
Good movie.
Looks like it. All right, what's your one, King?
My number one is him as Miles in Sideways, just because of the fucking Merlot scene. But because we've now done multiple Giamattis, I also think of him as Pig Vomit in the Howard Stern movie, Private Parts, and just doing the WEMBC. WEMBC.
Pig Vomit. God damn it.
The
That's
90s.
right, it's Pig
You said
Vomit,
it-
right?
Yeah.
The 90s, man. That was a movie.
WEMBC.
Fucking crazy. Let's see. One's from the chat. Nuttian says, replace John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. Yes. Yes. Yeah, he would have been so good in that role.
It's a tough one.
Farley
Travolta
dancing
was-
with Uma Thurman.
Travolta was great. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Yeah, imagine Farley doing that dance.
Imagine
dude.
Farley. It would have translated perfectly to the Capital One commercials now we get in December of Travolta doing "What's in Your Wallet" as Santa,
Santa.
while doing
Santa.
Easy.
doing the dances and all that. Yeah.
Easy. And then Booble says John Malkovich as Lenny in Of Mice and Men.
Oh no! Oh, tragic movie or tragic book. Didn't really like the ending.
Yeah.
No, not for old Lenny either.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh Lenny, man, that was a bad ending.
Didn't end well.
Who-
Yeah.
Who was the actor with Malkovich in that? It was the guy from Willow, wasn't it?
Val Kilmer.
No, the guy he played one of the little tiny fairy guys, whatever they were called.
You can call it whatever you want.
I can't remember what
We
they're.
can do that now. You don't have to be
Oh,
PC.
I guess now I don't have to be PC about it.
Yeah.
Gary Sinise.
Gary Sinise.
Yeah.
It was Gary Sinise.
Yeah. It's Gary Sinise. Yeah. Not the guy from
Not in
Willow.
Willow,
Gary
no.
Sinise from Forrest Gump.
Willow.
you idiot.
You idiot.
God, I love
Willow and
Is that-
RFK pretty
Madden-
similar.
Mad Martin.
Cheryl. Will. See, Willow, the thing about the fluoride in the water is that Matt Martin can hypoglycemia with Cheryl.
You're so good at that. It legitimately sounds like you're skipping. Oh man, that's like. By the way, that's a talent. Like, I think we uncovered something here. Like, that's a legit skill
Thanks,
that you
man.
have. Yeah. Alex,
Well, the government.
what would Alex Jones sound like interviewing him?
God. Hey, man. Hey man, what do you got to say about hepatitis? Whole milk. We got the walnuts, California, the water, and the Delta, and Sacramento, Cheryl. I'm Alex Jones.
I'm Alex Jones.
That's
Hey,
so
man.
good. Amen. Amen.
Hey man, hey man.
Actually, surprisingly enough, I like just before we started a video of Alex Jones, like when he first started, like I don't know, having his own like show or whatever. He was skinny. He made sense. The things he's saying weren't insane. I was like, now I could see how this guy got a show. And then
9/11 happened.
And then 9/11 happened. Yeah. And then the pivot happened.
Pivot?
The thing about 9/11 is that the toxic smoke from Cheryl.
God, he was like a heroin addict for like a long time. Like, what are we doing?
I love how the discourse is like, he's 60. I don't know how old. So he's 68.
Yeah.
And he's doing push-ups in his jeans. Okay.
Cool. Is that
Yeah.
Is that good?
He's a weirdo, man.
Is that the guy we want running Medicare? All right. Good for him, I guess. All right.
Well,
so,
they don't want any Medicare, so that's the
Yeah, fair. They don't want Medicaid.
Medicaid.
The thing about Medicaid is that Medicaid, Cheryl.
The thing about it is he doesn't know the difference between the two. WCP's number one is Paul Giamatti in Billions. So we got another Giamatti.
How are we getting so many Giamattis?
I think we found a type. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Paul Giamatti for Chris Farley.
What's that Giamatti movie? That's not the one where he turned into like a blue grape, is it?
No, it was a TV show.
Yeah, Billions was the TV show.
Oh, Billions, a TV show. Okay.
Yeah.
The HBO.
He was like an attorney general that was going after Axelrod.
Sure.
And
Honorable.
having weird sex with his wife.
So I have a couple honorable mentions.
Well, let me tell you about weird. You should see what my ex-wife used to say about it, but she can't because she killed herself. Cheryl.
So crazy.
I'm Alex Jones, man.
So crazy. My honorable mentions: Wolf of Wall Street. It would have been good as Leo's
Leo?
part in Wolf of Wall Street. Yep.
That's some wild choices here for
Yep.
Farley to replace people.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that one. I gotta be honest.
These are my-
I'd like
these-
to see him do the. I'd like
Yeah.
to see him do the dance, but
He's already doing all the cocaine, man. Would have been fine.
the I'm not fucking leaving part. That one scene with Margot Robbie, I don't really see. I know money could be the great equalizer, but
Yeah.
to be honest,
All right, maybe a supporting role in that movie. Maybe not replacing Leo. Maybe Jonah Hill's
What's your next
character.
one?
Yeah.
There you go. There
Yeah.
now
All
we're
right.
putting it together.
Jonah Hill and Moneyball. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I also had One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, like as Nicholson's
I
character.
can see that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I can
I
see
think
that.
he would have
Yeah.
been like fantastic at that. So, let's see. Honorable mentions from the chat: the Dude, Big Lebowski from Nuttian, replacing Billy Bob in Armageddon from WCP. Also,
No, perfect movie, perfect cast.
Yeah.
Could never be better.
I can't go
I
on.
don't even
here.
want to close my eyes.
Except for the actress who is in our movie we're watching this week.
Liv Tyler,
Yeah.
perfect belly for the animal cracker. Perfect. You can't even.
Then he
I mean,
said,
that's pretty much all the American our movie this week is about. Is just her belly.
pretty much. Yeah, there not much plot really. So
Or Renee Zellweger. You know.
yeah. Let's see. He also said Kyle Chandler in Friday Night Lights, the TV show, replacing him in that. Yeah, another football
I've
coach. I don't know.
I never watched that series.
Me neither.
Neither have
Everyone
I.
unanimously.
How is that possible?
Everyone says it's great. Everyone.
I know.
I've read the book. I was forced to read the book. Permian High. Like, I've just never watched it.
Yeah, how is that possible that all three of us haven't?
Just watch the movie with Vanderbeek.
Varsity Blues?
Yeah, same thing, isn't it?
I mean, no.
Playing football at West Canaan High may have been the opportunity of your life, but I don't want your life.
There you go.
Great movie. Great line.
All right, let's
Tan. Tan.
She's 10. She's a fucking 10.
Do the tweeter dance.
Yep. Fucking tweeter, man.
Fucking Scott Conn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Is James Conn still around? I know we
No,
gotta end this.
he's
Is
not.
James Conn still around?
No.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I asked.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it's probably okay.
I know where he would be standing now.
He'd have some opinions now. He would have so many opinions on that DC air crash last night.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
And let's end the podcast with this. Booble in the chat said, "What if Farley replaced Liv Tyler in Armageddon?" Flawless. There you go. Are you happy? Are you happy with that change? No.
I gotta be honest. Visually, no. Sound the alert for toxic masculinity. Nope.
Farley and Affleck, right? I mean, they'd be paired up. I mean, come on, man. What more do you want?
Contrary, if they switch roles, contrary to the main song on the soundtrack, I would want to close my eyes and I would want to go to sleep and I would not miss you, babe. And I would want to miss the whole thing.
The permanent sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't want to come back from seeing that. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. What? You got one more thing?
Was Chris Farley's brother's best role in that fake MTV boy band show they had, Into Us or whatever? In Together.
In Together. Yeah.
In Together. That was his peak, right?
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. We can end it.
Okay. Thanks.
Algebra, trigonometry. What you meet.
Movie on Sunday.
You plus me
equals us.
Movie on Sunday is Empire Records. Watch it on Hulu. Listen to us talk about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will see you
Your loss.
next week.
Plus sign.
me. And you said this isn't a visual medium. Come on.
What a show. What a show.